back, Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen, live for the first live for 2023. Hopefully, everybody's New Year's went well. Yeah, I'm excited for the year, and I'll tell you guys what, man, this new quiet carry is fucking blowing me away. Dang it, I can't believe I cussed just now. YouTube just set up a new thing that if you cuss in the first 30 seconds to demonetize your video. Damn it. If you say any cuss word too, because before it was as long as you didn't use like the F bombs, you were good. But now they have it all the way down to like, you know, even the little stuff. So demonetized. Anyways, the quiet carry, the new quiet carry 9, man. Oh my goodness, this thing is so good. So good. Now I know they're sold out now. I don't know how soon they're gonna have any. Oh, by the way, here I'm gonna show you guys this. For those of you that missed out on the TRMs, check this out. So if you look at TRM's thing right here, titanium liner lock knives are more coming soon. So it shows that you can order them still, I think. So like, look, if you look at this one, the Atom liner lock, you can add more, go to checkout. So it seems, I'm not sure, maybe they're just saying like you can order it because they're coming soon, so then they'll ship them out once they're finished with them. I'm not sure, but I'm just showing you that it seems like, because the only one that says sold out right now is the Holy Nerd, which most likely the Neutron and the Atom are going to be the ones that most people want, because the Holy Nerd it's a tiny little son of a bitch. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that because I know some of you guys were kind of bummed that you missed out on them. Bald Assassin, thank you for the 10 bones. Just stop by to show some love. How you had a good New Year. I had a great New Year's. It was kind of small. We had a decent Christmas party with my family, but for the New Year's it was a little bit smaller, but it was still a good time. I love getting with family. Family's like the best thing ever. So I think everybody, like, it's always a blessing when you have family around, even if it's your friends, right? It doesn't have to actually be blood family, but even just friends, having people around you as a team, it's such a blessing. Miguel says, hey, I love knives, but I don't know how much. Wait, but I don't know much. What are some things I should look for when buying a new knife? Well, one, don't buy knives from big box stores like Walmart, things like Target, things like that. Stay away from those. Some hardware stores they'll have like 2 good knives, you know, out of like the 50 knives they have, but they're always overpriced. So get your knives online, make sure you order your knives and watch my videos. If you watch my videos, I will, you know, depending on what your price range is, figure out your price range. You know, under 30 bucks, there's a few good brands under 30 bucks, but usually when you get under $30, you're getting into the territory where you could get, you know, not something not that great. Over $30, you're usually stepping in, as long as you're going to a reputable company. But if you watch my channel, I'll tell you all the reputable companies and the companies that you can't go wrong with. So, and then make sure you use my link. TRM does website drops on Friday mornings frequently. Thank you, Deacon. I appreciate that. Yeah. I know when I seen that you could still like get the Atom, I almost popped one in the cart, but I can't, man. I just bought this damn thing, and you know, I already got the Holy Nerd. So, you know, for Kara. So, and then also, you know, the other thing I just got her the other day, it's like they had to drop a whole bunch of bombs right after, you know, New Year's, or right after Christmas, I should say. So it's like, damn it, my pocket can't handle it. Cheap big box. Milwaukee Fastback. Yeah, if you need a utility blade. But for a pocket knife, I would recommend going with Sencut, Civivi, Kubi, Kaiser, companies like that. Ganzo's really good. If you're really tight with money, Ganzo's going to be probably about the best bang for your buck you can get. Yeah, definitely do some research ahead of time. So, and like I said, watch my videos. Watch my videos. I will definitely help you find exactly what you're looking for because, a lot of time, just like I'm about to do a video. I'm going to do a video on, kind of like I did the other video, like if you could only have one, right? Well, what if you could only have five? Or not only have five, but what if you were just looking for 5 knives? You want 5 knives to handle everything. Well, in that case, you're going to get a knife for purposes. So like you might need, okay, I need a fixed blade for camping. Camping, if shit goes wrong, my indestructible badass survival knife that's a fixed blade. That's one, right? Then maybe I need something for precision, right? I need something like for utility cutting and something just good for EDC, but something that's got really good geometry for the precision cuts. Then maybe something a little bit tougher and harder use, something you can, carry around the house for when you're working on the house and doing construction and things like that. Even though a lot of times the good geometry blades will do that just fine too. And then maybe a gent knife, right? Something for when you're going to weddings and funerals and things like that, or going out with the family out to eat and stuff. Something that's a little bit more low key, but maybe a little bit dressier, a little bit nicer. But you can pick the category that you want and then find the knife that fits that category. Um, so, and if you know exactly what you're looking for, like I'm just looking for a basic EDC knife, just an all around good knife, there's lots of knives that can fit that build. But what if you're looking for a knife for hunting, right? You don't want just any knife. If you're going to get a hunting knife, you want something with a specific blade shape, just like if you want a self-defense knife. Now, don't get me wrong. You can obviously use just about anything for self-defense, as long as, you're used to it and it's a decent shape. Like obviously, if it's a cleaver, it might not be the best blade shape, but it depends on the size of it, I guess. But for the most part, Talica with the 5 bones. Thank you, man. Have you hit my 4V? No, not yet. I'm gonna be getting to them after tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a huge day. We got lots of mailing to do. By the way, everybody who hasn't gotten their packages yet, tomorrow we're mailing out. Um, and then I'm gonna get to them, and then we'll hit you on the next mail day to get your stuff back to you. We got another donation. Dennis, thank you for the 5 crackers, man. I appreciate it. Bang gang, finally, bang gang. Speaking about the Mannix, though, I bet you're loving that 15V, huh? You can see I've been putting mine to work. I actually cut up, and we'll talk about it. Screw it. So I cut up about 200 feet. So, well, those of you guys that don't know, I did a short on it. So, if you guys didn't see it, I did a short of me sharpening it. I sharpened it 15 degrees per side to a mirror polished edge. I still, I don't know how the steel is going to respond to a mirror polished edge. It took a really good edge, incredibly sharp edge. We can actually watch the video if you guys wanted me sharpening it, but took a really good edge, but I don't know how well it's going to hold it. But I did cut up 200 feet of cardboard, around 200 feet, give or take 10 or so feet. There was tape and things like that. So it wasn't the best controlled test. And I didn't use it in a 1-inch section. I used the whole blade. My point is that it still hung on to the bite pretty good. Not too bad. Now, like I said, it wasn't the most controlled test, and it is fucking filthy as shit. Clean it off really quick. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it might be, since it's such a high carbide steel, I don't think it's going to be a steel that you're going to want a mirror polished edge over a toothy edge, but it might be a steel that if you want a mirror polished edge, you'll be fine with it, but it's most likely going to be a steel that you're going to get the best optimal results, the best results with a toothy edge or a medium grit edge. So, but we'll see. Fucking tape, man. Longer you leave tape on your edges, man, or knives, seems like it just takes forever to get off. Anyways, let's hit it on the strap really quick. See if we can't tune it back up just a little bit. Because the edge still feels really good. There's no problems with it, but and 200 feet of cardboard's nothing to to laugh at. It's a decent amount of cardboard, and some of it was double walled. Some of it had extra layers on it. It's got a couple of hang-ups. Not too bad, though. But remember, also, this was the first edge. So that second edge, I think I'm going to get into some really good steel. And it felt great. Don't get me wrong. The first edge felt wonderful. So I'm not saying that it felt bad. I think I seen a Donnie. Did I? Metallica with another 5 bones. You're going to still test that Curtis Custom, right? I wanted you to. What do you mean test it? Test it how? Kevin, thank you for the 2 bones. So basically 5 Demco 80 20.5s. Yeah, exactly. If you had, and if you could, I guess, if you could get blade replacements like from Transparent Knives, you could totally do that, because you could have every blade shape you pretty much want, the grind you want, the geometry, the steel, but you'd have to get on his books. But anyways, Metallica. What do you mean by testing? You mean testing the steel, right? You're talking about the steel? You're not talking about me spine whacking it, right? Thoughts on 10V for EDC fixed blades? Okay, so I love 10V. 10V is a fantastic steel. But for a fixed blade, it depends on your purpose. So if you mean for EDC, like you said, everyday carry, so you're basically using it for cutting purposes, then yes, I think 10V is great, because it's going to be, high wear resistant steel. So, the beautiful part about it is going to be its edge retention, and that's where it's going to shine. But it's not going to be something you're going to want to stick into 2x4s and pry them off the walls, right? You're not going to want to be doing shit like that with it. So is without the right geometry at the very least. But I think if it's just for EDC, small fixed blade, yeah, 10V is amazing. Steve Yoder with the 5 bones. When are you getting that $150 knife on the show? Ha ha. When are you getting that $150K knife on the show? Yeah, I wish. $150,000 knife on the show? Yeah, I wish. Maybe one of these days at Blade Show, they might pull something out. I might be able to get one on the show. I seen some bangers in Atlanta last year. There was some that we checked out that I never even heard of the company or the guys before, and they were like insanely good. Like even the clips were hidden inside the handle, and you pinched it, and then it like would rock up, and then as you're putting it in the pocket, it would like raise up and go in your pocket. But yeah, just out crazy knives. So, and they were very expensive, like super expensive. Dude was trying to talk me into buying Kara one. I laughed. Yeah, right. Because they were like $3,000 or something. I think Blade HQ has 10V Kaiser Maverick Poons fixed in stock. 10V Kaiser Maverick, the harpoons, fixed blades in stock. Nice. Yeah, like I said, 10V, man. 10V is awesome. It's similar to K390, and you guys know K390 is my favorite steel. Technically speaking, 10V would actually outcut K390 by a little bit, little tiny bit. Probably such a small amount you never notice, but yeah, those were crazy. They were really crazy. Derek. Hey Jared, can you shout to Kara that we say hi? Kara! Everybody says hey. She said hi. Hi. Do you like the series 1883 and Knives? Then watch Javon. Kyle, thank you for linking John Evans' channel. Got them slippery scales. I think that company at Blade Show was yes. Jean-Pierre, yes. That was one of them, yeah. There were a few others that because we didn't get everything we've seen there. But yeah, that one was the one I was just talking about with the clips. There was him, and then one or two other guys next to him. So it was like 3 in a row that were just like knives you never heard of. They were just crazy. Yeah, I'll check it out, Talica. I'll definitely check it out for sure. Look at who's here. Jim Skelton. Shout out to Jim Skelton. Definitely go and check out his channel. Word of the day. Yes, it's mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. Speaking of mashed potatoes, we have the mashed potato right here, which should be dropping, I think, on the 6th. So don't miss out on that. This is really good. And I think I didn't know the price, but I heard Jim, I think he said, how much are these going for, Jim? Do you remember at Blue Creek Knives? How much are the mashed potatoes going for? Some damn expensive mashed potatoes. It's really good though. It really is. I just did a first impressions on it. If you guys want to check it out, you guys can watch it. I posted it earlier today. 120. Okay, 120 with the lefty code. So make sure you get the lefty code at Blue Creek Knives. Yeah, I think it's awesome. And 14C28N titanium scales, steel liner. Comes on my screen. And it's very well done. It's got somewhat of a clip point blade or a sheep's foot blade with a hollow grind. The hollow tapers from thin here, and then it gets thicker and thicker and thicker up to the tip. So it's got a nice stout tip. Stupid smooth action though. Very, very smooth. Mashed potatoes. Lefty loves his mashed potatoes. Set this over here. I see you're growing a beard. Yeah, I'm growing her out. I'm going to see how it goes. 135.99 without the discount code, 120 with the discount code. So make sure you use the discount code. Who doesn't want to save money? Yeah, I'm growing it out. Let's see how it does. See if we can't accentuate my jawline a little bit. I have been trimming it, as you guys can see. Otherwise, it'd be a lot longer right now. But I think I'm about to stop trimming it and let it go. I'll wind up trimming it again after I let it go. Just straighten it all out. But I'll let it get to like maybe a number, I don't know, 2 or 3. Probably number 3, because right now this is like a number 1. Anyways. Beard and banjo. I'm excited. Only hint I'm giving is I get my second Kaiser tomorrow. Good for you. Good for you. There's my cousin Brace. What's up, Brace? You can always use my Blue Creek code instead of lefties. I'm prettier than he is. There you go. Is that the discount code? I do like the green too, and that's always how it goes. Okay, that's not to me. Talica's hungry. There was something I wanted to talk about. We did talk about this new quiet carry. Man, bringing it back up again. This thing is so badass. I can't. So awesome. I absolutely love this knife. I'm so happy I got it. The ergos are stupid comfortable. Like, it just, even this little spot right there, it softens so nicely. Your finger fits in there so comfortably. And then this whole ass end of it just rests right in your palm. Super smooth. It's nice and contoured. All the edges are knocked down really nice. The lock bar is super comfortable to disengage. And I love how far the thumb studs are away from the scales. So it's super easy to flick. You get a ton of leverage into the flicks. And then they're using their ceramic caged bearings instead of washers, so it's stupid smooth. And I've always wanted a quiet carry on bearings. There's other models. I'd love to get one of these on bearings. One of their waypoints. So yeah, this thing's fire. They did such a good job. And this clip, forget about it. And this clip is like one of the best clips ever. Goes in and out of the pocket, super smooth, and it's still a milled titanium clip and deep carry. So it's like the best of both worlds. Shameless self-pimping. Whomever follows me on Instagram, I'll be listing a couple of sweet folders in my story for sale tonight. There you go. Nice. No. Shameless plugs are always welcome here. Yeah, definitely go and check that out. You guys should probably know that he's got some pretty nice knives, some heaters over there. So who knows what he would be selling? He's probably going to be selling off his Ganzo collection. I'm kidding. No, he's got some really, really nice knives. So definitely check that out, especially if you are in the market for nice knives. SOG is a local company for me, and with all the cool knives that are out there, they seem to disappoint. Yes. If you have feedback for them, I can drive over there. I so SOG has stepped it up. So I don't want to bash on them too much, because compared to 3 years ago, they are hitting home runs compared to 3 years ago. 3 years ago, they were shitting the bed one after another. Now they've got some really good models out there. They've got some good USA made stuff. They've got the Terminus, the XR locks are really good. They tune the detents on their XR locks really good. But in my opinion, I think their best models are going to be their USA made stuff and the Terminus, and like the line with the XR locks. Stay away from all the other ones, all the really cheap ones. But if you spend a little bit more money on them, they're really good. John Evans, thank you with the 5 bones, man. I appreciate it. I would love that quiet carry on full tie. I kind of like the fat carbon, man. I mean, I know it's only on one side, and I know some people don't like when it's only on one side, but I'm not mad at it. I think it looks pretty good. But I know what you're saying, though. It would look pretty fly in full tie. Pretty fly in full tie. Hey Jared, do you think artisan cutlery's higher end models are kind of underrated? I think they're beautiful. So I think they have. So this is the thing, is that it depends on what higher end model, because like some of their older stuff, right? And this isn't a knock on them or anything like that, but some of their older stuff, like I really liked the designs, but then in practice, like when you got it, they were just good, right? They looked amazing, but when you got them, they were just good. So I think that they have improved. So I think some of their knives now, like I have a couple coming, so I'm going to check out some of their new knives. But specifically with CJRB, I think they have great knives and then not so great knives. So it just depends on which ones there are. Same thing with the artisan models. Some of them are really good. Some of them, look really good, but then are just not. But they have a lot of great models. So it just depends on which one, because they do have a lot of different models. The SOG Flash and Power Pint are a nice small multi-tool. I do want SOG to get better. They were my first EDC. I want any of these companies to get better. I missed your super chat. No, I would never miss your super chat. I definitely did not miss your super chat. 2 bones from Shane Gables. Thank you, brother. Definitely go and check out Edgy American. He does have a channel as well. Jared, my cologne arrived today. Nice. Dude, that's hell yeah. Awesome. Message me. Let me know what you really think. Or message it here. I'm gonna, in a little bit, we're gonna talk about the fragrance I'm wearing right now, which technically is like my favorite fragrance out of all my fragrances, out of all 100 fragrances I have, if not more. My favorite scent. And it's actually pretty affordable too, but it just doesn't last very long. We'll talk about it here in a little bit, but no, that's awesome. Stuff smells good though, right? It's got a nice Like, do you understand what I was saying about the pineapple smell? It's like a pineapple plant smell, but in a good, in a somewhat of a fresh way. Let me circle down, see if he commented. First live of 2023. Yep. Let's get our asses to 1 million. Yes, we're just gonna pass right up on 500K and go right to 1 million. I had somebody the other day. So I commented on somebody else's channel, and somebody commented at me saying, how do you put it? He said something about what's up with that sketchy ass sub count or something like that. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he goes, and because I didn't really understand what he was trying to like say. I thought maybe he was trying to talk shit. And then I realized, yeah, he's trying to talk shit. Because then he goes, you're how you have so many subs or something like that you bought them or whatever, something weird, something like that. I don't remember word for word, but that's the gist of it. Basically, he's trying to say that I bought my subs. And he didn't say like that you bought it, but he was like, what's up with that? Right. And I just, I was humble about it. And I just said, I've been very, very lucky and blessed to have, gotten the payout, I guess you could say, of all the hard work I've done. Right. So out of all the hard work I've done, I've been blessed and lucky enough to get, to get it back. But and somebody else wound up saying something to him. But and I do appreciate that, by the way. Every time you guys back me up, but it really shows you how ignorant people are, because one, like with the plaque back there, you can't get that plaque without them scrutinizing your channel. Like, that's how it goes. When you sign up to get that, they go through your channel to make sure you don't have any bots. And you realize it too, because you lose a lot of subs right when you get there. Like, I lost like 2,000 right away. Right when I hit 100K, 2,000 gone right away, just because they go through your channel with like a fine-tooth comb and get rid of any bots and stuff to make sure that it's a real sub count. Now, I'm sure I have, probably two, like every once in a while, like every time I hit a mile marker, it'll back off. It'll like take away some subs. So it's them going through your channel and getting rid of some. Yes, there's people that buy subs. Of course there are, but it doesn't do me any good. Like, that's the part that people don't understand. It doesn't do my channel any good to buy subs, because you don't make anything off of bought subs. So it would only be me. That's like me throwing money in my toilet and flushing it. That's what that would be like. And you have to understand YouTube to understand why that why that is. Now, yeah, you could say some people might try doing that to get sponsorships and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe, but without the sub. But the thing is, though, is that the companies that do that, they look at your view count. They don't give a fuck about your subs. They look at your view count, and that's what matters to them. So, just doesn't make any sense. But people are going to be haters, though. 5 bones from Aero Velocity. Saw today in the warehouse that Microtech got something in Magna Cut. Wonder how well they did it. I have no idea. If it's anything like ProTech and Hogue, probably not that. Well, no, ProTech, I think they started bad. Well, ProTech and Hogue both started bad, and now they're doing better. So hopefully they just didn't fall in the same path everybody else did. Seems like every company did it bad at first. But yeah, I know it was Arrowhead. I know it was. I was gonna thank you earlier in here, but yeah, thank you. People are just, they're gonna be shitheads, and I don't care. And I want people to call me out. If they feel that way, I'd rather you call me out. I'd rather you say something. If you have a question like that, or if you think something's sketchy, just say it to me. I'd rather just sit here and explain it, or give my side, rather than you not say nothing. So, haters gonna hate, brother. Do your thing and keep bringing people into the community. Damn right. Damn right. I saw mashed potatoes giveaway. Now I'm Kershaw dropping new knives. Yes, I have some of them. 2 are USA made. Yes, and I'm pissed, to be honest. Shout out to Kershaw. They sent me a few of their new knives. I can't reveal them yet until after a certain date, but they didn't send me the USA made knives, and I'm kind of upset about that. So I contacted them yesterday, and I need to see if they responded or not, but requesting those USA made knives because that's some bullshit. Why wouldn't you not send me the USA made knives? Like, why would you? Come on. It's like I'm always advocating and pleading for them to come out with more USA made models from the Kershaw line. And then they do, and they send me the Chinese ones. So hopefully I can get them to send them to me though. As of right now, I do have 4 of the models, but we'll see. I'm going to work on it. No, they're not. None of them are assisted. None of them are assisted at all. They're actually using crossbar locks. So, just got the Max Ace Black Mirror. Hell yeah. Yeah, it is a good knife. That's a good one. I love now that is lock bar access. The Black Mirror, that's how it should be done. Anyone ever look at Kyle Royer knives? He has good content. I don't know, maybe. There's so many channels, man. There's so many channels. You could literally tell me a channel right now that I'm following that I watch all the time, and I wouldn't even know the name of it. I watch so many different channels, especially like when it comes to like knife content. Like I try to subscribe to everybody and I try to watch everybody I can, but it's just hard to remember all their names. I'm not really a big fan of assisted knives. I hate assisted. Well, not hate. Hate's a strong word. I dislike most assisted knives. I think there's a couple that are good. There's a couple decent ones out there, but for the most part, I would wait because especially in this day and age, you don't need assisted. Back in the day, I understand because back in the day, it was tough for companies to get that smooth action. Now every company's got smooth action without assisted. So if you're putting an assist there, the way I look at it is that you're trying to cut corners of making your action good by having an assist. I understand some people want it, some people love it, but keep that on like the $10 knives, $20 knives, maybe even less than that. Keep it on those knives. Anything of good quality, don't put an assist on there. Jared, you definitely got to watch Kyle Royer and me. I'll definitely check it out. Kyle Royer. I'll check it out. That man caused me a lot of peoples, a stalker and a creep. Would love an updated leak with a detent ball. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think the leak would be a great one as a manual knife. I think the knockout would be a great one as a manual. All their assisted USA made knives would be a great would be great. So Jim Skelton is co-signing for Kyle Roger. He said he is god level knife making. I'm definitely gonna have to check him out now. Yeah, I can't think of him. I bet you if I looked him up right now, I'd be like, oh yeah, that guy, yeah. And I wouldn't be lying, I'd be telling the truth. I just got a Yojimbo 2 yesterday that the pivot adjustment is pretty strange. Are all Spideys like that? What do you mean? I just got a Jumbo 2 yesterday that the pivot adjustment is pretty strange. Why is it strange? It's just double-sided. So you just need one. You need to make sure you have 2. I think they're T10s. You just got to make sure you have 2 T10s. You should be fine. So if you're having trouble adjusting it, work on one side, then the other side, or adjust them both at the same time. Because these things have bushings. So there's a bushing in the pivot. The blade is over the top of a bushing that goes in the blade. So it goes in the blade hole, that would be right here, the hole in the blade. There's a bushing in there. And then the hardware screws into that so that you can go tight on both sides and it still be very smooth. Kind of like a Sabenza. So you might have to adjust it a little bit, to make the action really good, but just make sure you have two T10s. The M48020s I scored off Blade HQ will be delivered tomorrow. Hell yeah. Will I stop at 28020s? We'll see. Need Jared to sell me his 8015 though. You know what though? Those 8020s are badass. I have mine. Oh, mine's over there. Right now I got a couple other big knives around me, but I don't have my 80/20 right here. I think it's over there in the box. But yeah, they're badass. They're really good. Now, I will say I would love to see him do another line. And I know he's done some customs, but I'd love to see him do it in production where he does a full size 80/20 skinny with a hollow grind. That would be amazing. So it's a little bit, thinner, slimmer, lightweight, not so overbuilt. Don't get me wrong, I love the overbuilt one. I love it. It's a brick house. It is so tough, so strong, but it'd be awesome to get one that's not 50 thousandths behind the edge after sharpening, Kyle Royer. Yeah, Kyle Royer. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. There is a link to his channel, so shout out to him since Jim co-signed. Braden. Yeah, I heard the owners were retired American operators. That's why it sounded funny when I heard they sold to China. Either way, some of their designs seem very beautiful. Let me scroll down. I'm going to catch up, guys. So if you guys said anything and I missed it, I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom of the chat. So just repeat it. The 80/20 just doesn't excite me. Well, you know what? That it should. And let me tell you why. You have hand problems. So that would be a great knife for you because of the problems you have with your hands. The action is kind of similar to what you would think of kind of like a button lock. You could think of it more like a crossbar lock, but it's easier to disengage. You just pull down a button and it's an easy button. It's not much. It's not like super strong or anything. The spring is easy to compress. So it's not like say a Mannix where the spring's a little bit on the stronger side. It's not like that. You have a lot of leverage. I don't know if you tried. Maybe you've tried one and you don't like it. But if you haven't tried one, you should try one. What is the lock like on the Sandrin Mons? I know that's a Snex design. Yeah, it's what is it called? The strong locking system, or no, not strong. That's the Buck Marksman. It's the damn it. I can't remember the name of it. Somebody will say it. But it sounds like strong locking system. But it's basically the same. It's not the same, but it's very similar to the Shark lock. Just like there's a few locks out right now that are similar to it. Even what the Cold Steel did on the Engage, the Atlas lock. This is very similar. I do think though that the Shark lock's better. And Super lock. Yes, thank you, Spider G. Thank you. Yeah, the super lock. So this is very similar to the Shark lock, but I've used it. I sit here and mess with it, and it's not as vault-like as the Shark lock. Now, other people have abused the hell out of these, and then they wind up getting a little bit of blade rock, not failing, but blade rock. I don't think you would see that as much out of a Shark lock or out of a Triad lock. Definitely not out of a Triad lock, possibly a Shark lock. But I just, think that one, maybe the tolerances are just better. So it might have something to do with that. I don't know. But this does add an extra stop pin in there. There's 2 stop pins instead of 1. So it is a little, you would think it would be stronger, but it's not. Anyways, there's a bunch of locks that are very similar to that, but this is still a good knife, by the way. The Cold Steel Engage, and you can get the small one, the mini, for like $60. This one's over $100 for the S35 VN full size version. Blue Creek Knives gave away 10 memberships here. Not here. I can't see it. If you did, let me look. Are you talking about here? It sucks that I can't see it on the StreamYard. Hold on. Oops, sorry guys. All right, let me see. Blue Creek Knives gave away 10 memberships. No shit. Oh wow, there it is. Oh man. Thanks to Blue Creek Knives, man. That's awesome. Thank you, man. Oh yeah. That's so badass. Now I can't see it on my screen. I got to make sure I keep these things open. Like I can see it on here, but I can't see it on this screen. Thank you, man. That's amazing. Hell yeah. So badass. Shout out to Blue Creek Knives. Hey, Hey MC, I'm new to the knife world and looking for an affordable way in. For Christmas, my mom got me a bug out and a Griptilian. I'm looking for a heavy user for EDC. Any ideas? You're looking for a heavy user. Well, Griptilian is a good one if it's a full size. But also the Manix XL. The Manix XL, I'd go with that. That's a great user. You can do some heavy cutting on it. You can be a little bit tougher on it. You can go with the XL or the regular one. Now, if you're looking for something hard use and like tough, um, you can go with the Formax, which is a beast. But it's a beast. So I don't know if you're looking for something quite that crazy, but otherwise, though, like I said, the Manix XL, man, I think that's a great option. One of the best. And this lock is a reliable lock. It's a lock that you can open and close for a long, long time. And it'll only, it'll just stay super solid. Trying to think of what else I can recommend. Besides what we've already talked about. But you can go with the American Lawman, Cold Steel American Lawman. That will work. That's a good one. What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here. How do you guys like the pyrite? It's good. Pyrite's good. Jared's MC Neve. That's funny. Yeah, I think he did. I think he was just mistaken. It's all right. It's all right. It happens. It happens. My Sencut Crowley button lock detent is a little too strong. What is the best way to reduce the spring touch and compress it? So your spring needs to be compressed. So take it apart, take out the spring and smash the spring closed, pinch it into something. You can leave it overnight or just pinch it really good so you can flatten it, then put it back in there. That should work. You might have to leave it compressed overnight or something, but that's it. It'll break in over time too. Okay, I have a question. I have Boker knife with bad lock, but it has some blade play. I tried tightening the pivot, but then the blade was hard to open. Are there any suggestions? So sounds like it's on washers. That's one thing. So you're probably not going to if you tighten it and the blade play doesn't go away, you might not be able to do much about it. It just might be wore out. So I don't know what type of lock it is. Oh, with a back lock. Sorry, a back lock, but it has some blade. Okay, so a lot of back locks. So this is the thing. A lot of traditional back locks have blade play. So it's not a triad lock. So a triad lock, which is a back lock, but it's a different type of back lock because they introduced a stop pin. These are vault-like. These things are literally like a damn vault. They're like with the strongest lock you can get. But a regular back lock is not that. And they're still really strong. Don't get me wrong. They're very strong, but a lot of them have play. So it's kind of common for back lock. So I wouldn't worry about it too bad. I would just get it to a point to where it works really good and it's reliable and you're not worried about it failing on you. And if you are worried about failing on you, get a new knife. You can bend the spring, so you can take it apart. The spring that's pushing the back lock, you can bend that and make it stronger if you want. But then it's also going to be harder. You're going to have to push down harder to disengage it. Spyderco's HCR13 or Civivi's Nitro V. Civivi's Nitro V. Civivi's Nitro V for sure. Definitely, hands down. Because the reason why I'm saying that too, just to explain myself, yes, Spyderco's heat treats really good, right? They have the best heat treats. However, the HCR is going to be from the Chinese market, so it's going to be Sanrenmu doing it. So it's going to be Sanrenmu's HCR. It's not Spyderco's from the fucking USA factory or the Japanese factory or the Taiwan factory. That's going to be the Chinese factory, most likely, which is Sanrenmu. Now, even if they do it exceptionally well, Civivi's Nitro V's done very well. So since Civivi's Nitro V's done very well, it's going to outcut the HCR every day of the week. So definitely the Nitro. My Manix 2 has a very hard spring. So what you can do about that, I like the hard spring. So I love the detent on a Manix. I love how to me it has like almost the perfect detent for the reverse flick. The Manix. Oh, I love it. But if you don't have the strongest hands and it does kind of bother you how strong the tension is to disengage it, take your knife, open it up like this, compress the lock as much as you can without it closing. So like that, and what it'll do is it'll compress it. Leave it like that overnight. Leave it like that for a few days, or just whenever you're not carrying it. Whenever you're not carrying it, just compress that spring, because what you're doing is you're compressing the spring, and it's going to help break it in a little bit faster. Drop Bear Escort. So I like the Drop Bear's blade. I like the Escort better. However, I like the Drop Bear's blade better. So I like the size of the Escort. I got them right here, actually. Well, I thought I had the Escort right here. I guess I don't. I like the Drop Bear's blade shape better. So the Escort's tip is a little bit too high for my liking. Now, it's still great. Don't get me wrong. It's still an amazing knife, and that's why I still like the Escort a little bit more. But this is perfect. Like the ergos are really good. Great size. I can use it in every grip, and this tip is going to be better for utility cuts and opening things up. So I'd probably recommend the Drop Bear. I refuse to buy Hinders because he's such a douche. I am no one. What's your opinion of BD1N? I have a Manix 2 lightweight that is badass. However, it doesn't seem to hold an edge, stropping a lot. Yeah, BD1N, it's kind of a budget steel, but slightly mid-grade. I'm not a big fan of BD1N, to be honest. It's okay. Like, it would get you by. I would say just make sure you're putting a medium grit edge on it. Don't bring it to such a high grit. So keep it around medium grit, 600 grit. Make sure your angle's nice and low, 15 degrees per side, especially on a Manix. That way you will get the most out of your edge retention. And just don't be tough on it. Hammering through nails and shit. And yeah, strop it often. I already read that one. Hinders douche. My bug out was indeed a clone. I just ordered the M390 version. Can't wait for it to come in. Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. It happens, man. It happens. That's why you want to make sure you're going to a reputable dealer or dealing with somebody in the community that you trust that deals with reputable dealers. MC and Neeves are cool, but that other couple. Are you talking about Birdshot? Somebody read my mind. Manix 15V for the win. Yeah, for sure. 15V for the win. I'm loving it. Love MC as a person. So don't take this sideways, but you'd have to give Jared a line of Coke, a Jolt soda, and light a Bunsen burner under his chair to confuse him with MC. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, I love MC too. Shout out to MC. Definitely go and subscribe to his channel as well. You have a big wrinkled brain. I do have a wrinkled brain, actually, because I have such a small forehead. BB Raptor. Hey, everybody. CKW Kraken or BB Raptor. I'm not sure what those are. I'm wanting a budget beast. What would your suggest be around 100 bones? 4max. Cold Steel 4max. Cold Steel. Well, I would go one of the two. Either Cold Steel 4max, if this is too beasty for you, because it is a beast. go with the 8010. The 8010, you can get them for the lightweights, you can get them for like $90 or something like that, give or take, maybe less. But it's a bit shorter than this. So because you can see this thing, like, look how much handle's hanging out of my hand. This thing's a beast. So if you want something that's it's still palm filling big, the 8010. Otherwise, if you want the big beast, go with the 4 Max. These you can baton with them, you can chop with them, you can do whatever. This is the strongest lock on the planet, and it is very, very reliable. The lock only gets stronger with abuse. I think it can handle up to 620 pounds of drop force on the spine, if not more. It's between, I think it's like 620 to 700 pounds of force on the spine. So you'll never be able to put that much weight on it. Jim Skelton coming in with the 5 bones. Support your local knife freak YouTubers. Jared is the man. Thank you, Jim. I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to Jim Skelton. I know most of you probably already are. Those of you that are not, hurry up and slap yourself and then go and subscribe to his channel. But first, slap yourself, because you should be ashamed. Custom EDC knives with the 10 bones. Thank you, man. I appreciate the 10 bones. Thank you guys for all the donations. Hey, everyone. How's it going, Jared? Would you mind letting everyone know I'm running a sale on Warntech pre-orders for the full month of January for $225 a knife? There you guys go. You guys just heard it from him. He's running a pre-order, or he's running a sale on the pre-orders for the month of January for $225 a knife. That is down from $250. So you guys will be able to get in on the pre-order for a really good deal if you guys jump on it in January. So you might not want to miss it. The Warntech I did get to try it out. You can watch my my first impressions on it. Mine was the prototype. So, and it was still just even the prototype phase. It was really, really, really good. So it was definitely one of the better knives of the year that I've tried, or of 2022 that I got to try. So it's well worth the 225 without a doubt. Like, not even a debate. That's actually a really good deal. Oh, thank you, Meat Man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Do you know of any budget sharpening stones? There's a lot of budget sharpening stones. You know what? Actually, that was a topic we never even got to. I was going to talk about sharpening on a budget. Okay, so there's a couple different ways to go about it. Okay, so depending on the steels you have. So if you have all simple steels, like if you don't have any M390 20CV and above, you can just get aluminum oxide stones, and you can get a cheap aluminum oxide stone for like $20. But you need to make sure, this is very important, you need to make sure you have a very, very coarse stone. You have to start with a coarse stone. So you can't just buy an aluminum oxide stone, 600 grit, and think you're good. You have to make sure it's like 300 grit or less. So between like 100 and 300 grit for your first stone. Now, I recommend getting a diamond. You can get like the cheap diamond plates for like 10, $20, like just the cheap ones. Yes, they're not the best. Yes, they'll wear out fast, but they will cut your steels fast. That way you can use that as your first stone, and then buy a cheap aluminum oxide stone for like $20 for a finishing stone. You can do that. Now, it's not going to give you the best edge in the world, but you can definitely get a sharp edge. It'll definitely, be, as long as you put the time in to learn how to sharpen. Now, if you do not know how to freehand sharpen, or if you have troubles holding angles, there's angle guides you can get for your stones. So you can just set them on your stones and use them as an angle guide. There's even systems that clamp onto your blade for you to freehand and learn how to freehand, but it holds the angle for you. Now, if you want to go just right with the complete fixed angled system on a budget, the best you're going to be able to find for a budget is going to be the Worksharp Precision Guided Sharpener. No, it's not the best, but it's only $50. Now you can take that system and then go and buy from Gritomatic. You go to Gritomatic's website, or use my link down in the description for Amazon. You type in Gritomatic. You go on there, you'll see an aftermarket attachment. It's a stone holder. So if you have the Worksharp Precision Guided Sharpener, you get the aftermarket stone holder. And the reason why is because that's going to make it to where it's damn near like turning your work sharp into a KME, because you're going to be able to hold whatever stone you want. So, but I always recommend, though, when we're talking about freehand, I always recommend diamonds, but you don't need diamonds. You can use aluminum oxide stones. You can use natural stones, as long as you're not sharpening high, wear resistant steels. But the biggest thing is just the knowledge of sharpening. So it doesn't matter what you have unless you have the technique and the knowledge, but that just takes time. So get a stone, get some affordable knives, and go to town, start sharpening, or some old kitchen knives or something, start working on it. The faster you get on the stone, the faster you will get yourself to good quality edges, and you'd be surprised how fast you'll pick it up. But you just have to actually continue putting in the work. Of course your edge is going to be shit the first time, right? Of course. But over a week of you trying to sharpen every day, you're going to pick it up. And then after a week, you're going to be, oh, wow, I can actually get a burr now. I know what to look for. And so just put in the work. Formula One with the boink. Thank you, man. I appreciate the boink as always. Edgy America says, Jared, I have enough forehead for the both of us. I'm trying to grow mine. Antimatter, only one I know for sale is on knife sale for $220. Yeah, you know what? Actually, let's talk about that. Shout out to NAF sale, not knife sale, NAF sale. I didn't even link it. Damn it, I didn't link it. I'm gonna have to wait till the next live. Damn it. Well, I'm just gonna say it anyways. Shout out to nafsale.com. You guys can go there to sell your knives or to buy pre-owned knives or new knives. They even have new knives, but it completely protects the buyer and the seller. So you don't have to worry about getting duped. You don't have to worry about getting screwed over. You don't have to worry about it showing up. You don't have to worry about it, anything, right? Because they protect both the seller and the buyer. And excuse me. It's really simple to use, very easy to use. They have great prices. You can get knives that are damn near brand new in the box, if not brand new in the box, for great deals. So definitely check out nafsale.com. I'm just gonna have my team link it in the just link it in the comments, please, guys. It's not my affiliate link. I do have an affiliate link, I think, or maybe not, but it's just Nafsale. KNAF sale. And definitely check them out, because one, you like I said, you can buy knives there, and you can sell knives through them. So if you have a knife collection and you're wondering, where do I sell my knives at, or how can I sell my knives, you can do it right there, and that way you'll get to a bigger audience. And they take, I think, 7% or something like that. I think that's what it is. I have to read my paperwork, but I think it's 7%. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I would charge more than that. Christopher Fleming with the 5 bones. Hey, thanks for the ideas. I do a lot of farm work and definitely abuse my knives. Also, I was watching MC right before the live stream. No problem. No problem. I get it. But yeah, dude, I've done a lot of work on farms too. So I know what you mean about abusing knives on a farm. And that's why, like, if you're gonna be doing that type of work, you need to have a or you should have, I'm not gonna say you need, but you should have some sort of pocket stone, some sort of stone for out in the field. I recommend the Work Sharp Field the field sharpener, Work Sharp Field Sharpener. It comes with a ceramic rod, 2 diamond stones, and a strop, and it has a spot to do serrations, all in one little system. It's really, really good, and you can literally do a full-blown sharpening, or you can just tune up your edge right there in the field, but it works great. and the angles are already on there, so you don't have to be able to hold an angle or be able to find an angle, because it already has the angle set up. So you just have to set it on there and then hold that angle going across the stone. Jerry Peterson says, just wanted to pop in and say Happy New Year's, Jared, and the holidays were great, and same to everyone else here. Thank you, Jerry. Happy New Year's to you. Happy holidays to everybody. Thank you for dropping in and saying what's up. I think I'm backed up. I'm gonna catch up right after this comment. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Is there a certain oil you recommend for sharpening on aluminum oxide stones? I saw a video earlier in the week saying you must. So with aluminum oxide stones, India stones, natural stones, a lot of those stones, you should use oil. So there's oil stones and water stones. If it's a water stone, use water. If it's an oil stone, use oil, right? Honing oil. You can find it online. It's just sharpening stone oil, honing oil. Now, you can technically, if you have not used oil yet, right? If you have not put oil on your stone yet and your stone is new, you can mix soap and water. That works good. It works good on oil stones. But if you've already used oil, just continue using oil because the oil will, the oil and the water won't work together. So you can't use, unless if you degrease it and you got to boil it and do all kinds of shit. But yeah, just honing oil, you can find it online or mix yourself some soap and water. Anybody know a badass fixed blade warney? Any price? Check out Tops Knives. Tops Knives definitely has some warnies, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in here that will give you a better answer than I could. Seems logical. Why don't you handle that one for me? Arrow velocity with the 2 bones. Don't forget the work sharp brace too. Yes, that, and you know what? And they have that too. So if you go, he's talking about the work sharp precision guided sharpener. How I said make sure you get the aftermarket stone holder attachment. Also get the brace too. The brace, it just goes right underneath the clamp and stops it from flexing. Which will massively change like the end result of your edge. But you can get those on the same site, Gritomatic. Embosher with the 1 bone. Thank you, man. I appreciate the donation, guys. Thank you, guys. If you go to Gritomatic, get the brace for the clamp. Yes, yes. For the work sharp precision guided sharpener. Yes, definitely. You definitely want that. I should have said that. You definitely want that. The brace, it's going to, because what happens is when you put the stone on the edge, it flexes the clamp and it'll change your angle. Now, if you're on a tight budget and you don't have the money for all that and you only have the money for the work sharp, that's fine. You can just use the work sharp. But later on, after a few weeks, gather up some cash and buy yourself the stone holder attachment and the brace. That because it takes that system to another level. It makes it to where that system can compete with better sharpening systems. Get a 1x30 and a bucket of water. Harbor Freight has them for, I don't know, like $60. Yeah, if you want to do some real grinding, but I don't personally. Now, I would recommend doing that for like fixed blades, machetes, some chef knives. But for like my really nice knives, I would never like when I get them, I put my own edges on them. I want a fixed angled edge or a freehand edge. But you know, some people don't give a shit about that. And if you don't, yeah, a belt edge is great. Um when I'm scrolling through sometimes your comments, like I don't know who you guys are talking to or what you guys are talking about, but it's hilarious. Like just now, I just passed up and I think I seen Edgy American. Have you tried using your finger? um, well, there you go. There's his finger. Have you checked out 6 Leaves models from White Mountain Knives? The SL16 and SL19 are stellar for the price. We'd love to see you do a cut and HRC test on their S35. They make awesome models. I think, if I'm not misunderstanding, I think 6 Leaf is made by Tucson. Am I right about that, guys? I think it is. I think it's Tucson that makes 6 Leaf. So I would say that most likely their steels are going to be on the softer side, unless if you're dealing with like their 14C. S35, again, it's probably about average, 58 to 60, like normal. But for all their other steels, like they run them soft. Their M390s, their S110Vs, you know, steels like that. M398. How do you use a work sharp with a knife with a spine profile of the Osborne? How do you use a work sharp with? You talking about the work sharp precision guided sharpener, Or are you talking, because there's different work sharps. So there's the work sharp Ken Onion grinder, there's the field sharpener, there's the, I'm guessing you mean, I'm just guessing, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing you're talking about the precision, the clamped guided system, the fixed angled system. How do you use a work sharp with a knife? Just clamp it, and you're probably going to have to use a little bit of a higher angle, maybe, so that, because the blade is very narrow. So that's where you'll run into a little bit of trouble. Excuse me. Is because the blades are narrow. So in that case, you're just gonna have to run it at like 20 degrees per side. Not that big of a deal. Do you carry a knife / blade? I got my girl carrying religiously. That's good. You should. What's gunny juice? Gunny juice is diamond emulsion. So I have some on this. It's a diamond suspended liquid. So it's a diamond emulsion. You squirt it on your leather strap and you just rub it around and then let it dry, and it leaves like a microscopic layer of diamonds on the surface. Then you can take your knife and strap. They have different grits. So you can do a progression where you can like start from a coarse and then work your way all the way up to a polish, or you can just get like 1 or 2 for removing burrs and tuning up edges. Hey Jared, was wondering if you look into the Baronax Knife Company stones yet. What do you think of them so far? So they're I don't really think too much about them. They're aluminum oxide stones. That's what I know. That's basically what they are. So aluminum oxide stones. I don't think there'll be anything better or worse than other aluminum oxide stones that are on the market. I've tried countless. When dealing with aluminum oxide stones, some are better than others, some are harder than others. And I think they say that theirs are very hard, which is a good thing, because I have tried some that are super soft, and you don't want that. When dealing with aluminum oxide, you want the harder ones, the ones that are super hard. But I would say as long as they're really hard, yeah, they'll probably be just fine. You just got to make sure, like I said before, you start with an extra coarse, then medium, then so on and so forth. You do not want to start with a medium grit. A lot of you guys will start with a grit that's like 400 grit, and it's not diamond. So it's a regular aluminum oxide stone, and you're not getting nowhere. And you're wondering why you can't sharpen. Well, it's because you're not fucking using a stone that's cutting the steel. You got to start with a super coarse stone so it cuts the steel. It has to be able to cut it. And as it's cutting it, you will feel it. You'll feel the stone aggressively taking metal off, and then you like, because you can feel it, it's called like the response you get from the stone, you can feel it, and it'll help you hold your angle. Although, like, if you guys ever heard of a knife sharpener say the stone has a lot of feedback, right? If you ever heard that terminology, what they're saying is that stone, they can feel the abrasion, the abrasive cutting the steel, and it helps them hold the angle because they can feel it. They can feel their angle. They can feel it going across the stone. They can feel the steel being removed. Like a stone that doesn't have a lot of feedback will be slipping all over the place, and it's like trying to sharpen your knife on glass. It's just hard to hold your angle. It's slippery. It just doesn't have the bite. But if you start with an extra coarse stone, you will feel the stone removing steel, and you'll be able to hold your angle. It'll give you so much better results. The first stone is the most important. Fuck any other stone. Like, it doesn't even matter. You could do everything with one stone. You won't get a polished edge. You'll only have a toothy edge. But the point is, though, is that you can't get any other edge without the toothy edge. You have to start with the coarse edge. Then after you've gotten a coarse edge, then you can go to a medium grit and a fine grit. But you can never go to those until you accomplish the toothy edge, which is the first stone, because you can't move forward after that. You have to start there. So that's your your the base, like that's going to be your foundation. Hey chat, if you leave the live and come back, you can watch the ads again. Shout out to Dr. Drew, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate you watching the ads. It does definitely help the channel. Those of you that don't know, we get paid off of AdSense here on YouTube. And the only way we get paid off of AdSense is if you watch the ad or if you click on the ad. You either have to watch 30 seconds or click on the ad. And if you do that, it benefits the channel. But, you guys can always donate in other ways. There is, and if you guys don't know, and I'm not asking you guys to do this, I'm just telling you guys, if you guys don't know, there's a donation thing under each video where you can donate money to a video, and I'll see it in the comments. I'll see that you left $5 or $10 or something. So if you guys ever want to do that, I do appreciate it. It definitely massively helps the channel. So thank you guys. Somebody left me one the other day and I appreciate it. I would not buy the Worksharp Precision brace from Gritomatic for larger knives, though. There is this guy called Practical 3D Printing. Yeah, well, that's, if you go watch my video, I have two or more Worksharp Precision Guided Sharpener attachment videos. So I have like 4 different videos altogether, but I have 2 specifically for all the attachments, every attachment you can imagine. And I link his Etsy page, the guy who makes the 3D printed one. So I would say, yeah, go do that. But the Gritomatic one, I have a link, an affiliate link for. So that's why I usually recommend going to Amazon, going to Gritomatic, and then using that because I have an affiliate link. So I get a kickback off of it. But yeah, it doesn't matter though. That guy does really good stuff. I have his stuff, and the brace is really good from him too. I'm not sure which one's more affordable. I have no idea, but I know Gritomatic has them, and yeah, you can get the guy off of Etsy. He has them too. Antimatter with the 10 bones. Happy New Year, Jared. Congrats on the almost 240K subs. I know, it's fucking crazy. I ordered a 6x1 Atoma diamond plate stone set. Hell yeah. 140, 400, 600, 1200. Dude, that is so badass. What grit can I compare them to, Anzi? So Atomas are our grit. So the 140 is 140 grit, and it's fucking aggressive. So that's gonna be, don't worry when you first get it. It's gonna be a little scary because that fucker's aggressive, but it's gonna break in. So just use it. It'll break in basically to about 150 160 grit, and it won't be as aggressive. Every diamond plate that's not like, well, even resin bonded ones, but every diamond plate comes more aggressive than it will be. They all break in, every single one of them. And that's the difference between quality ones and bad ones. Bad ones wear out very fast. Quality ones break in and last a long time. Atomas last a good amount of time. So your 1200 will be a 1200 grit edge. So that will be technically a 1200 grit is the last grit before you get to a cloudy finish. So between 1200 and 2000 is a cloudy finish. Then after 2000 is a polished finish. So you don't need that though. 1200 grit is all you need. But if you want to, what you can do is you can either grab some gunny juice and a few strops, and you can strop your way to a polish, or you can get one more stone after that, like a ceramic ultrafine. Get a ceramic ultrafine from Spyderco. They're kind of expensive, but that will get you a mirror polish from 1200 grit too. And then you can then get yourself some gunny juice, like a 1/4 micron or 1 micron gunny juice, and you'll be good. But personally, the most important stones you're going to have there is your 140, your 400, and your 600. Those 3 stones will do just about everything you need, because a 600 grit edge is like the best edge for EDC. But if you want the bright, beautiful mirror polished edges, you'll want one more stone after that. And you could also just get one Veneve stone too. Over the 1200, you can get one of their high grit, their 800 and their 1200, which would be like 3500 grit and 5000 grit. Mike Emler with the 2 bones. Stop by when you're done, monkey boy. Shout out to Mike Emler. Go and subscribe to his channel. He is doing a live after we are done here. They have the same designs from Tucson, not manufacturers. Oh, huh. 6-leaf Tucson for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought that they were the same company, or it was just like their budget knives. That's what I thought. Steve's in the house. Whoever said to use a 1x30 to sharpen needs to learn how to use Steve, thank you for the 5 bones, man. I appreciate it. You know, some people, man, they don't like, and I kind of feel for them because I know there's a lot of guys that use the Ken Onion work sharp electric sharpener. I get it, you know. But if you're only doing fixed blades and chef knives and stuff like that, and you can't seem to freehand, like for whatever reason, maybe you have problems with your hands or something like that. But if you don't have any type of problems, you know, that stop you from being able to put in the work, put in the work, it will be so beneficial. I can't express that enough. Sharpening is therapeutic. It really is. And the time it takes to learn will be so rewarding for years to come. And then you'll never have to worry about it in the future of being out in the field and having a dull knife. You'll never have to worry about it because when you get so good, you can fucking sharpen on a rock. You know, granted, it won't be the most beautiful edge in the world, but you'll know you can do it. So I definitely agree. You know, everybody should at least put in the work enough to get the basic skills down. You don't have to get mirror polished, crazy low edges, but just knowing how to bring up a burr and deburr and get a decent working edge on a knife. It's not that difficult. It just takes a little bit of practice, just like anything. Just like anything. Dennis with the 2 bones. Where is Maurice? I don't know. Where the hell is Maurice? And shout out to Brian from Transparent Knives. I seen him comment and I didn't even say nothing. Definitely go and follow him on Instagram. Yeah, I don't know where Maurice is. I haven't seen him in here today, but he could be lurking. That fucker will be lurking. You won't even know he's in here. Um, hey Jared, had a few questions about some of the stones and whatnot that you use. What would it be possible to shoot you an email about it? Yeah, shoot me an email. Ruru, thank you for the 5 bones, Ruru. Yoda Dog sent me. Have a great channel, great content. Thank you, man. And shout out to Yoda Dog. Thank you, man. I do appreciate it, Ruru. And thank you to Doug. Thank you for the 5 bones. But yeah, if you want to ask here, Jerry, you can ask here while I'm here, and then that way I can explain it in better detail. I'll watch for your comment if you want to leave it here. Have you checked out any of the off-grid knives like the Rhino V2? I've got a bunch of videos on the off-grid knives. I've had most of them on the channel. The Rhino V2, I can't think of that exact one. Off-grid Rhino V2. Let me see. Yeah, I've had that one on the channel. I actually just I think I loaned the small one out, the mini, out to Everyday City Carry. I think he's got it right now. All right, so whose name am I looking for right now? Jerry Peterson. Have you seen the SHOT Show Benchmade bailouts? I have not. I have not seen that. I'm getting 2 votes for no. The hollow ground clippy looked appealing. Huh. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Jared, what kind of edge are you running on your Jutland? Right now, I have a polished edge, 17 degrees per side. But just to be honest, though, you know, and let me just be clear, though. I think Giant Mouse, I think that's the one steel they do slightly okay is their LMAX. So don't take it wrong when I say what I'm about to say. But I ran a polished edge on it, but it didn't seem like it did very well. And with my other Giant Mouse, and the polished edge did very well. So, you know, I might just need to put a couple more edges on it. But so I'm probably going to drop it down to like 600 grit and see how that does, because you know, I didn't do, you know, I carried it and just used it like, you know, a basic EDC. So I didn't count any feet or cutting or anything. But it just seemed like it lost its crispiness a little bit too quickly. However, though, like I said, you know, it was its first, I think it was its first edge. So, do you get paid for ads even if you cuss in the first 30 seconds. So what happens is they recently, so before in the past, what they did was you couldn't drop an F-bomb in the first 30 seconds. You had to wait for the first 30 seconds or the first minute before you could say the F-bomb. But you could say damn and ass and things like that. Now they recently dropped new information that they are going to start demonetizing videos that use any sort of swear word in the first 30 seconds. So I have to watch my mouth for the first 30 seconds. And then after that, because otherwise, yeah, they'll demonetize it and then I won't get any of the ad revenue. They'll just take it all. They'll probably still run ads, but I just won't get shit from it. And that's how they get you. They're sneaky like that, and it's a business. So I somewhat understand, I somewhat get it, but it's kind of like the people that are not monetized, right? They don't realize that YouTube's going to put ads on your channel no matter what. Like once you hit a certain mark, and they realize like, oh, you're getting good views, they're going to start putting ads on they disclosed that like a year ago, that if you do not get monetized and you're over the time limit and all that stuff, and you could get monetized, they're not going to like just be like, oh, well, we're not going to put ads on here because they don't want to. No, they're going to put ads on your stuff, and then they're going to be making the money and you won't get your kickback. That's why I tell everybody, like, man, once you are able to monetize, you'd be stupid not to monetize because they're just keeping your money. It's your money. Like, why wouldn't you want your cut? And yeah. You can also become a patron. Yeah, thank you, Fiend. By the way, patrons, we are going to be pulling the giveaway knives. I think tomorrow morning I'm going to try doing it. So if you guys can try to watch it, because we're mailing out tomorrow. If you don't catch it, then we won't be able to mail out to you till the next mailing day. But if hopefully you can catch it early, hopefully I post it early, the results, and we can get some of that stuff shipped out. So we have a lot of great giveaways, man. A lot of great ones, including the Sharp by Designs. I've heard that they are very coarse stones, but if you want to see a video on them, I would check out Jeff Jewell's video on them. Nice. Yeah, Jeff Jewell, he does some good work. I like Jeff. I'm all budget and utility. Sashi and Penguin are faves. What's your opinion on these and what you recommend? I like the Sakshi. I like the Penguin. I think they're both great. I think the Sakshi is since it's larger, it's going to be a little bit better. I'll tell you what, if you really like the Penguin a lot, try it getting the Penguin Plus. I know it's a lot more money because it's more premium, but the Penguin Plus is a good size knife. It's a full size knife. It's really good. But yeah, I like the Sakshi. They're both solid. I have videos on multiple videos on both of them. Solid knives. The Sakshi is one of the best budget knives you can get, especially for a button lock. Mark Mole with the 2 bones. What kind of edge are you running on your Jetland? Oh, I just said that. I was running a 17-degree mirror polished edge is what I was, but I'm gonna tune it back to 600 grit. Now, it's not saying that my mirror edge wouldn't go good on it. That's not saying that. It's just it didn't. So either one, I have to, because it could be a burnt edge. It just might need a couple good sharpenings to get into some good steel, and then it'll be fine. That happens all the time. It's very common. Or maybe they ran it a little bit slightly softer, and I just need to run a little bit of a medium grit, and it just doesn't have the ability to hold that super fine, keen edge of a nice hard steel, which is common from Italy. So I don't know which one it would be. I just know that I'm running a mirror polished edge right now, and it lost its bite fairly quickly. So I'm going to try a 600 grit edge, and then I'll try a mirror edge again after I put a few edges on it. Shane Gables with another 2 bones. Opinion on using denim with 6-micron diamond. So, thank you for the 2 bones, Shane. Yeah, denim's cool. I mean, I personally would think so. Balsa wood would probably be better. A good leather would probably be better. But yeah, I don't think there's any problem with using the denim. I think from what I've heard from like Rockstead and stuff, Rockstead likes to use aluminum oxide on their denim. So that's what they recommend. But as far as diamond goes, yeah, I don't see no big deal with it. But I personally, and because this is where I think about, right? This is my mindset. I like to use the diamonds. If you're using a paste, okay, so if you're using like the Veneve diamond, then yeah, because it's a paste. But if you're using like the gunny juice, it's a liquid and it'll absorb down into the fibers of the denim, which is good, right? It's good. But I think they're so microscopic, they're so small that I think they might get down into the surface and not do as good as it could if it was on the surface. So that's where like I'm a little skeptical on the liquid or the spray diamond. Maybe it'll work good, but I have a feeling that after a couple strops, it'll like kind of just like knock the diamonds down into the fabric and it won't even touch your edge when you're going across it. But if it's a paste, then maybe it'll work good. But balsa wood and leather, you can get the dense leather where the diamonds stay right on top of the surface, like this one right here. Works great. Now, when you're using gunny juice, if you get the suede leather, it's not going to work as good. It'll do what I just said. It'll absorb down into the leather and it, very quickly. So with this, I can put one drop and spread it all around. With the suede leather, I'll put one drop and it'll just absorb right there in that one spot. And I'll waste it basically. So, yeah. Hey, VC Edge with the 5 bones. I'm working on a paring knife. What is an ideal steel type for this? My prototype is M390, but I think there may be something more appropriate. Well, that is a fucking question for Super Steel Steve. Steve, are you still in the house? Is Steve still in here? Because that is a great question for him. And shout out to VC Edge. Definitely go and watch. He's making some amazing knives, man. Is Hey Steve, you still in here? I'm trying to see. I'm trying to scroll down because Fiend with the 2 bones. Thank you, man. How about that Rockstead? We've never seen one. We'll check that out here in a minute. We'll check that out. But where the fuck is Steve at? So I'm guessing. Well, I'm not a chef, so I could be wrong, but I'm guessing he would say maybe a carbon steel, but I don't know. Maybe a stainless steel is a good steel. But for a pair, I think it just depends on what you're really wanting. Like if you're saying an M390 knife, that's a high wear resistant steel, super stainless, so it has some great qualities about it. But you know, I think because it'd be a paring knife, you'd have to run it a little bit softer because you're going to want it very thin, maybe a little bit flexible. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you don't want it flexible. So I just think it depends on the knife and everything. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'd be badass in M390, but I don't know. I think it would have really good edge retention, but you know, it's It's not a tough steel, but a paring knife isn't tough anyway, so it doesn't really matter for that case or in that case. So yeah, man, I personally, just my opinion, right? Just my opinion. I personally would love a paring knife in 14C28N. That's what I love because it's a super tough steel, holds a good edge, easy to sharpen, great stainless. It has all the qualities that I want personally in like a chef knife or a paring knife. That's personally what I would want. Arrowhead says CPM 154 is a good cutlery. M390 is a little chippy in the case you cut on plastic. Well, right, and not even just plastic. Or you said plate. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. On a ceramic plate, hitting ceramic plates, hitting bones, things like that. You might not want, especially with thin geometry. A paring knife's going to be very thin. So yeah, you're good as long as you're being careful. Then maybe it doesn't matter. But if you want people to be able to abuse it a little bit, I would go with something a little bit tougher. Nitro V, 14C, CPM 154 would be good, as long as you keep a toothy edge on it. I'm not a big fan of CPM 154, but on knives like that, I am. I just not for folding knives. Remember, guys, every 60 seconds in Chicago, a minute passes. That is Man, I don't know how you knew that about Chicago, but you're a fucking genius, Fiend. You are a genius. I really wish more companies would do ZDP, assuming they do it well enough to matter. Yeah, I like ZDP. I've got who don't like ones that put out. Huh, I don't know what that means, but yeah, ZDP 189 is great, especially when it's heat treated well. What steel does Rockstead use? Do they list it on the blade? ZDP 189 usually. So ZDP 189 is usually what they use. Where do I have it? But they heat treated to 60 above 66 HRC. So 66 plus HRC is what they heat treated to. So it's very, very hard. All right. What about LC200N? So LC200N, for a paring knife, I don't see why not. That'd be good. The beautiful thing about LC200N is its ability to not corrode. So it's a great corrosion resistant steel. It's not going to hold an edge the longest. It's not going to be the toughest or anything like that, but it's very good at corrosion resistance and it'll hold an edge pretty decently. So I would say I wouldn't mind a knife or a paring knife in LC200N. I'd take it for sure. Just Me says, yep, 14C. Rocksteads are known for having very average HRC. Bob Smith's a comedian. My 3V bar Grouper Bravo 1 seems to chip on the belly a lot. Is it that heat treat problem or something? So how many times have you sharpened this? Okay, so I'm going to say a couple things here. Because not every experience you guys have with microchipping is necessarily due to the heat treat. In many cases, it's your fault. Let me explain. One, did you hit something harder than the steel? Number two, when you sharpen it, was it sharpened appropriately? Was it sharpened at an appropriate angle? Did you get the grit from the top of the edge bevel all the way down to the apex? Did it deburr good? How was your burring? Did you deburr well, or was it a shitty time? Did the burr go back and forth? Was it too big of a burr? Because you might want to minimize your burr better so that when you remove the burr, it leaves very little at the apex to tear off. You know, when you go to deburr and strap. Next thing is it could have had a burnt edge. Maybe it just needs to be sharpened a couple times to get into some good steel. So I would cross off all those things first before thinking that there's something wrong with the heat treat. But there could be, that happens. But I would narrow down the other things first. Thanks for the recommendations, everyone. I'll check those out. And Super Steel Steve, yes, Super Steel Steve will definitely give you some great advice on anything kitchen oriented. Not only is he a knife maker now, he also is a chef. So kind of the best of both worlds. Motherfucking professional. Think of this from 1939 to 1945, 1,000 humans an hour died. Somebody's trying to get pretty grim in here. I have a lot of chips on my belly at the moment. Steve's back. There we go. I saw the balls. Bat signal in the sky. Steve, what VC Edge was asking, what do you think would be a good steel for a paring knife? What would you, or what if you had the choice to do any steel in the world and make a paring knife out of it? What would you want to do it out of, or what would you be most proud to do? In Japan, in Japanese chef knives, you see a lot of blue, super, and super blue number 2, which are both pretty reactive carbon, but damn, they feel nice to cut with. Yeah, I haven't dealt with a lot of it. I know I've heard of that. But I've never dealt with it, so I can't really even speak to blue or super blue or any of the blues. Have you tried sharpening Terravantium yet? Does the cobalt sharpen like steel? I don't know yet. I'm literally about to put it on the stone. I have both the knives. They're dull. Both of them are dull. Both of them are ready for edges. So they're going on the stone very, very soon. I am going to do one on the fixed angle, one freehand. You know, just because. VG10 is a common kit. Yeah, I have a bunch of kitchen knives in VG10. I think VG10 is a fantastic steel for chef knives. Japanese steel. It's great. But is there something better though? Is that's a stainless. There's Stasa. Stasa 23's in the house. Definitely go and subscribe to Stasa 23's channel. Awesome, awesome channel. He did the Giant Mouse Jutland review today. So there was a few questions about the Jutland in here. Go watch his full review. He did cut tests and all kinds of shit. VG10 is the stock standard, I think, when thinking of kitchen knives. Yeah, it is for sure. Jared, what do you think of the Shun kitchen knives? They're all right. They're good. There's nothing wrong with them. They're affordable and decent quality. I think they use VG10 or maybe it's a 10CR or something. Okay, technically a paring knife is meant to be used in hand, so it never hits the cutting board. I would steer away from any super steels because all the vanadium and PM technology is wasted because... And right there is Stasa 23's channel. Go and subscribe to it. There's a link. Thank you, Fiend. I appreciate it, brother. Steve's going to continue on here in a second. Oh, yeah, there's the Jutland video. There you go. So anybody wants to check out the full review on his Jutland. So he says, because food is not abrasive. There you go. So, but what do you have a steel choice that you would pick? Or one of three steels? Like, what would be the 3 steels that you think that a paring knife would be, you know, most appropriate to make out of? And would that be the same steel you'd use? I guess probably not. A chef knife. I mean, I don't know. I don't make knives, but would the best, like, if you were gonna have the best of the best, the fucking best of the best chef knife set, would they all be different steels, or would you want them all to basically be the same steel? You know, because they're all good kitchen knife steels. I feel like you'd want maybe a couple to be a specific type of steel. You know, if you were gonna have like, you know, like a badass kitchen knife set, you know, like fully custom, where you have your custom chef knife that's in this steel, paring knife in this steel, butter knife in this steel. Just joking about the butter knife. I'm currently testing Chef Cut and it's having great results. Top 3 steels for kitchen knives: Chef Cut, Blue Super, and for stainless, AEBL. See, I said, and so this goes to the AEBL. I said 14. I'd love kitchen because I have one chef knife and 14C28N, and I love it. I think it does great. And 14C comes from AEBL. So it's a super, super tough steel, and it's easy for companies to heat treat. So that's kind of the beauty about it, is that it's just super easy from the heat treat. So you know it's going to be heat treated well. And also the HRC does pretty good in a pretty decently wide range, but yeah, the 14C, that's why I was saying 14C, because I have one in 14C and I absolutely love it. And I would buy, like, when I think of like the best chef knife, that's what I think of it in, as 14C, which, you know, like I said, arrives from AEBL. Now, I've never tried Super Blue or Blue Super. Blue Super. I thought it was Super Blue, but Blue Super, I've never tried it, so I can't even speak on that shit. When the fuck is Steve coming back to Rumble or YouTube? Good question. Good question. 14C is also awesome for exactly the reasons you said there. Yep. when the fuck is Steve coming back to Rumble or YouTube? You need a lightsaber to cut my wife's meatloaf. The army wants the recipe to make tanks with it. Oh fuck. So no manual cut in the kitchen, even though it don't rust. I just learned that 14C derived from AEBL and CPL weeks ago. There you go. There you go. Yeah, originally designed for razor blades. So it actually was made for knives. Okay, so we have 9:10. We have 20 minutes left. I don't know if we should tell a story, but we could tell a story. I do want to talk about, because I said I was going to say it earlier. The fragrance that I'm wearing today is Coach for Men. And I said earlier that I was going to tell you guys that my favorite fragrance is this one, but it's my favorite fragrance of the smell wise. Like for the smell, I love this fragrance. It smells so good. However, it doesn't last a very long time, but it's pretty affordable. I have it linked down in the description, and there's different size bottles. So depending on what size bottle, but the scent, you just got to overspray it a little bit. When you first spray it, you think like, man, this is powerful, because it is. It smells fucking amazing, but it wears off fairly quickly. So it only lasts about 4 to 6 hours. So you do want to kind of overspray it a little bit, and then you can get another hour or two out of it if you do that. But I put it on, right? I put it on, and Kara, about 5 minutes later, she goes, "What you just put on smells really good." I was like, I know. Um, Steve with the 5 bones. Thank you, man. I appreciate all the donies. Made and cut is a great steel, but extremely expensive, and it has no benefits in the kitchen versus AEBL. Right. Yeah, just because a steel, and even when you say super steels, that doesn't mean they're going to be the best for everything. There's going to be ups and downs to every steel, and there's going to be areas where those steels have the best purpose. you know. Even like AEBL, right? AEBL, I personally hate it for folding knives, but love it for fixed blades. I don't like it for folding knives. Well, one, it doesn't hold the best edge, right? I love 14C though, right? I love 14C for folding knives. It's kind of weird, but I don't like AEBL because of the type of edges it takes. It takes great toothy edges, and fine edges. So you can lower back the angles like really, really far on it and get the edges very, very, very fine. But it just doesn't do good with like a high grit. So low angles, yes. High grit, no. But 14C is the exact opposite. Well, not the opposite. It does really good with high grits and low angles. That's why I love 14C. But but it's a super, super tough steel. So for fixed blades and shit, it's amazing. EDM, what's up? You ever track down your Ozark? You must be talking to EDM, not me. But yeah, anyways, back to the fragrance. Fire fragrance. I can't recommend this one enough. Just spray it on me just because it smells so damn good. Such a good scent. This is how can I explain the scent? It's fresh out of the shower. Kind of has a tiny hint of sweetness to it. Super masculine, fresh, like shower jelly scent. And remember, ladies, like when you do tests on girls, they respond the most to fresh fragrances and sweet fragrances. And this has a little mixture of both while still being a men's masculine fragrance. So I can't recommend this one enough. Like I said, though, it just doesn't last as long as a lot of other fragrances. But the scent, though, it's a 10 out of 10. Damn it, it's good. Hey, Everyday Minimalist is in the house. Shout out to Everyday Minimalist. Definitely go and check his channel out as well. We have a bunch of channels in here. Family poop knife. What? We can I mean, I could tell a story, or maybe I should go grab that rock set. I gotta find it. I got it around here somewhere. Can't remember what I did with it though. I think I have it out there in the other room. So everybody's like, "How could you lose a rock set?" I didn't lose it. It's just not right next to me. I don't think. It might be. Oh, there it is, right there. All right, we'll check out old Rocky. Ooh. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful, guys. Fucking get you guys cut through the screen. Ooh. Look at that mirror. Look at that clip. Yeah, I cannot, but I still can't believe she got me this. Fucking crazy. And these things come screaming sharp. The sharpest factory edges I've probably ever felt. Well, Spyderco does some really sharp factory edges too sometimes. So the sharpest factory edges I've ever felt were from Rockstead. But other than that, then it would be probably Spyderco's. And the reason why is because Spyderco does low angles, and they actually do sharp edges. I'm not going to say they're even grinds or anything like that, but as far as sharpness goes, they're good. I think the HRC with this one was 66.7 HRC. Is this the poop knife? Yes, this is the poop knife. Don't step on it. You know, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking about it. If I stepped on that, like, well, because the other one I stepped on was a broad blade. That one's more of a narrow blade. Man, it'd go through you like fucking butter. The other one I thought went through my foot like butter. I probably wouldn't even realize I was cut with that one. I'd probably walk around for 10 minutes bleeding out. Kmart knife, not even Walmart. I wish I had an old lady that would spend that much on me. She's got to go find. She's out there somewhere, Kurt. She's out there somewhere. You just got to find her. You got to find her. Make sure you're smelling good when you do, though. Make sure you're smelling really good. Rockstead versus Evo. I'm gonna say Rockstead right now. What? Right. Oh, is this what Rockstead is about? What's the first thing you plan to cut with that Rockstead? I think the first thing that Rockstead knife should cut would be a wedding anniversary cake. That's funny. Actually, our anniversary is coming up too. Jared, please tell me you've read The Poop Knife on Reddit. If not, I'll go $20 if you read the story live. Poop Knife on Reddit. All right, let's see. This is long. All right, my family poops big. Well, you know what? Here, let me just bring it up for you guys to check it out. I'll be waiting for these 20 bones, Big Daddy. All right, poop knife. Share. All right. My family poops big. Maybe it's genetic, maybe it's our diet, but everyone's births giant logs of crap. If anyone has laid a mega poop, you know that sometimes it won't flush. It lays across the hole in the bottom of the bowl, and the vortex of the draining water merely gives it a spin as it mocks you. Growing up, this was a common enough occurrence that our family had a poop knife. It was an old rusty kitchen knife that hung on a nail in the laundry room, only to be used for that purpose. It was normal to walk through the hallway and have someone call, "Hey, can you get me the poop knife?" I thought it was a standard kit. You have your plunger, your toilet brush, and your poop knife. Fast forward to 22, it's been a day or two. People Wait, hold on. Where am I at? It's been a day or two between poops, and I'm over at a friend's house. My friend was the local dealer and always had guests over. Because you can't buy weed without sitting on your ass and sampling it for an hour, I excuse myself and lay a gigantic turd. I look down and see that it's sideways. It's a sideways one. So I crack the door and call out for a friend. He arrives and I ask him for his poop knife. My what? Your poop knife, I say. I need to use it, please. What the fuck is a poop knife? Obviously, he has one, but maybe he calls it by a more delicate name: a fecal cleaver, a dung divider, a guano glaive. I explain what it is I want and why I want it. He started giggling, then laughing, then lots of people started laughing. It turns out the music stopped and everyone heard my pleas through the door. It also turns out that none of them had a poop. It was just my fucked up family and their fucked up bowels. Fuck my life. I told this to my wife last night, who was amused and horrified at the same time. It turns out that she did not know what a poop knife. This is you okay?
Stab myself really hard.
I got you.
It's not why. Really hard.
Okay, hang on.
Just hear me a band-aid. There's no, I can't put a band-aid on it.
I got it.
How would you put a band-aid on this?
It's like that.
It's like that.
Well, here, let me get you. Here, just use this. Wipe it off. Wipe it off again. No, you're fine. Back to poop knife. I told this to my wife last night, who was amused and horrified at the same time. It turns out that she did not know what a poop knife was and had been using the old rusty knife hanging in the utility closet as a basic utility knife. She did not cook with it, but used it to open Amazon boxes. She will be getting her own utility knife now. I can't believe I read that whole fucking thing. That is hilarious. I can totally relate in a way with my family. Not I didn't have a poop knife, but I can totally relate. We had some fucking weird shit that I probably thought was normal my whole life, and then until I got older and found out, oh, everybody didn't do that. That wasn't a normal thing for your father to do with you or teach you or whatever. So I can totally relate. Oh man. Blue Creek Knives came for the man candy, stayed for the poop knife. That's hilarious, man. Oh, well, how'd you find that story? The poop knife story. Like fitting the square peg in a round hole. I have a poop gun and a leaky toilet now. Oh man. You guys are crazy, man. Some of the shit you guys come up with. Man. And you know, I bet you I guarantee that's a true story. That's the funny thing about it, is that it's probably true. It's probably a 100% legit story, and the guy's just telling his truth. What's up, Joe? Thanks to Blue Creek Knives for the subs earlier. Yes, thank you. And there is the Blue Creek Knives website. Definitely go and check them out. Yeah, and thank you again, Blue Creek. I appreciate it. I appreciate the members. To all the knife designers out there, we need a poop knife ASAP. As soon as possible. I think that the poop knife is crazy. Wait till you see the story I have you read on the next live. Thanks, Jared. I haven't laughed that hard since the first time I read it. I'm surprised you even knew about it. I mean, I guess other people go on Reddit. I never go on Reddit, so I wouldn't have never found it. But I don't know. Maybe somebody showed it to you. A plunger with a dagger on it. How do I get the patent? There you go. Not a bad idea. Nuts for Knives is back. Oh, and Arrowhead, he paid it forward with the 20 bones. Thank you, man. Thanks for paying it forward. I do appreciate it. We got about 6 minutes, guys. Don't forget, Mike Emler is live after this. So if you guys want to jump over there to his live stream, we can do that. Until then, maybe we'll just sit here and shoot the shit, tell some stories. I was gonna tell a story, but the story I had ready was probably a bit longer than we have time now. I could tell a story, a shorter story. Okay, I got a story for you guys. So I've told this story before. This was years ago. It was right before I got clean or anything like that. I was like in the face of getting like locked up and all kinds of shit. And I had a trailer. So I was living in a trailer, and this fucking biker, like this fucking hitman for the fucking biker club, he was 100% an affiliated biker, shows up to my door and is like talking shit. He throws a swing at me, fucking like just straight up, like and I'll get to the reasons why and everything here in a minute. But so I open up the door, and you can tell this motherfucker's about that life, you know. And you know, I can be as scrappy as I want. I'm also not stupid, right? So I'm not trying to go out there and fight this dude. I'm also not gonna back down from him in my doorway. So we're squared up in my doorway, but I'm definitely not going out there, right? One, you know, I don't know who he has out there. First of all, number two, don't know how fucking crazy he is. He's obviously fucking crazy as shit. Obviously in a biker gang. Obviously about that life. So he's obviously coming to, you know, to pay it forward to somebody, right? Thinking it's me. You know, I'm the wrong guy. So he's in the doorway and he throws a swing at me. He clips me in the jaw. And it clips me in the jaw. And I think it shocked him that I didn't fall down, like that. It just like took it like a champ, and then started pushing him out my door. And on the way out the door, because I was in construction, I had a tool belt right there. I snagged my hammer and I swung it at him. And when I swung the hammer at him, he slammed the door really quick, you know, like to stop me from hitting him with the hammer. And then he was trying to hold the door shut because he didn't want the door to open for me to beat him to death with a hammer. But he's steady talking shit, kicking my door, fucking banging on my door, all kinds of shit. I did find out later that he was obviously in a biker gang and he was actually fresh out of prison. He was like fresh out of prison, and he was, you know, I'm not gonna say a hitman, but he was you know, somebody who would go and take care of business for the biker club. And he wound up showing up at my door because for somebody who owed money or some shit. Was the wrong guy, but he thought I was the right guy, and I was not. But yeah, so I took one on the chin, and that wasn't really it. I took one shot on the chin. There was a little bit of wrestling back and forth, not much. And I had a couple dents on my door from the hammer when I swung it. One dent from the hammer, a couple dents from him kicking my door and hitting it and shit. But yeah, that was it really. But it was just crazy though, you know, knock on the door. You open up your door and there's a fucking, you can tell there's a serious gentleman at your door ready for business. And, you know, it's, you don't know, like I said, you can tell he's the type of guy that probably, you know, would shoot somebody, but you don't know exactly what's going on. So you're a little confused. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then it just throws a swing at you. You know, so that's why I got clipped, because it's like I wasn't expecting to get punched, right? I wasn't expecting him to clip me, and yeah, so and that's what happened. It was a little bit of a tussle, but not much. Like I said, once I grabbed the hammer, he he kind of took off, shut the door, and then wound up getting on his bike and taking off. He got in closer than your reaction time is capable of handling. No bueno. Yeah. And but I I also was kind of, it's not that I wasn't looking at him, but I was kind of looking like to the right just a little bit. And that's when he got me like in a surprise. And he did that on purpose. But that's why I also think it surprised him when he hit me and I didn't fall down, because he clean shot, really. I say clipped me because that's what it felt like. But it was probably just adrenaline. He did get a good shot, because you know what? The next day my jaw was swollen. I remember my jaw was actually swollen pretty good. But at the time, just like with a lot of times, when you get hit, it doesn't feel like anything. It just, feels like a little clip to the jaw, and that was it. That's what it felt like, because your adrenaline's going and everything else. Can you recommend any actual left-handed frame or liner locks other than CRK? I don't know of any. Liang Ma. Liang Ma has left-handed knives. Go check out his site. Liang Ma knives. He has a bunch of, he's left-handed, and he also usually does left-handed versions of his models. So that's where I would go. Oh, there's Kara's excuse. What happened to her? Not the fingy. Okay, guys, it is a past that time. Definitely go and check out Mike Emler over at Mike Emler's channel, Crazy Sharp. I'll pop in there right after this. Guys, thank you guys for all the donations. There was a lot of donations tonight. I do appreciate it so much. So thank you guys. Shout out to Blue Creek Knives for the donation of the memberships. I do appreciate that. Shout out to everybody who came in here tonight and hung out with us. Shout out to all the YouTube channels I did scream off earlier. Hopefully you guys can go and follow those channels. There is the link to Mike Emler's Live. Thank you, Fiend. And shout out to you guys for hanging out with me all night. I do appreciate it. I appreciate all your guys' support. You guys are awesome. I love being able to do this, and I love being able to do this with you guys. I feel very blessed, and yeah, I am in a very good place right now, and I'm very, very happy about it. So, and I can't do it without you guys. So I do appreciate all the love and support from you guys. I love you guys. Peace.